The automation server you use brings KNX, BACnet, Modbus, DMX, and MQTT, and many more protocols together in a single device. With free design using floor plans and any visuals you like, it produces graphics. With time schedules, trends, unlimited scripts, and cloud connections, it is one of the industry's most powerful smart home and building automation products. SonaHMI adds power to this power. With dedicated software running at firmware level, it is a touch panel solution delivering a full-screen industrial HMI experience. SonaHMI panels come with SonaHMI V10 software, embedded at firmware level and with a 10-year version lifetime. On every startup after a power outage, the panel displays the graphics specially designed for it on the automation server. You can connect up to 20 SonaHMI panels to a single automation server. In the server's user access menu, you can create 20 different users, design 20 different graphic flows for each, and show 20 different graphic sets on 20 panels. With the SonaHMI Manager application, you add to the server, you manage the panels. You control some of their features through KNX, Modbus, BACnet, and MQTT data points. Things like playing an alarm sound or notification on the panel, turning off the panel screen backlight, restarting the panel, updating the panel software over the internet, and many more features. SonaHMI, as both hardware and software, is a solution that adds power to the power of your automation server. SonaHMI is offered in two sizes: SNT-P10, a 10-inch panel, and SNT-P08, our 8-inch solution. Both panels come with a 1280 by 800 resolution. Both panels can connect over either Ethernet or Wi-Fi. This choice is made through the SonaHMI software. Both panels offer both 220 volts and active PoE support. If you connect the panel over Wi-Fi and can draw 220 volts from a nearby point, SonaHMI becomes an excellent renovation panel solution, especially in renovation jobs where running cable is impossible. From the box come the panel, an electrical box for flush wall mounting, and a mounting bracket. You perform the flush installation with an extremely simple system. If you do not want to use the electrical box, surface and distribution board mounting options are also available. On our 8-inch panel, there are also a total of 2 RGB LEDs on the top and bottom of the panel. Through an object on the automation server, you can send these LEDs one of 8 different colors. You can use them for many states such as room occupied, vacant, or do not disturb. The SonaHMI panel carries out 2 parallel communications with the automation server, and it makes this communication encrypted over the secure HTTPS port. For this reason, in all your corporate building projects, it will not be perceived as a security risk. The first of these 2 parallel communications is the display and control over the SonaHMI panel of the automation graphics created on the automation server and opened by access with a username and password. The second communication is the triggering of some of the SonaHMI panel's features through objects created and linked via the SonaHMI Manager application from the automation server to an HTTPS server embedded on the SonaHMI panel. We will shortly explain in detail many features within this triggering, such as playing certain audible alarms, locking or dimming the panel screen. For this reason, the SonaHMI Manager software, which also installs the certificates enabling this HTTPS communication, must be installed on the automation server. After creating the relevant graphics and the username on the automation server and installing the SonaHMI Manager application, you can go to the SonaHMI panel and start the setup. When the panel first turns on, it greets you with a setup wizard in 10 languages. Here, the panel setup is completed through these steps: the panel's network selection, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, or direct connection, assigning the IP address, DHCP or static, entering the Wi-Fi details on the scanned Wi-Fi network if Wi-Fi is selected, entering the automation server, IP address, username and password, and entering the screensaver, and, if it will be used, the PIN details. Then the SonaHMI Manager application opens. One of the 10 available languages is selected, the application is started, and a panel is added from the Add Panel menu. Here, the objects that support some of the panel's features are selected. From the SonaHMI Manager application, many operations are carried out, including changing the panel settings, updating the panel software over the internet, and uploading a custom screensaver. SonaHMI Manager is the free central panel management application running on the automation server. The application opens, one of the 10 available languages is selected, and it is started, and a panel is added from the Add Panel menu. Here, the objects that support some of the panel's features are selected. From the SonaHMI Manager application, the panel settings are changed, the panel software is updated over the internet, a custom screensaver is uploaded, and many more operations are performed. SonaHMI Manager lets you manage your panels from a single point. You can include the panel's features in scenarios and scripts through KNX, Modbus, BACnet, and MQTT data points and objects. Now let's look at the features of SonaHMI and SonaHMI Manager. First, network security compliance through HTTPS communication. Second, DHCP operation capability for both the panel and the automation server. Thanks to DHCP, if the IP address of the panel or the automation server changes, the current information is automatically discovered through a special UDP scan and automatically updated in the systems. For longer-term stable operation, we still recommend a static IP. Third, firmware-level software on the SonaHMI panel. Zero penetration into the underlying operating systems. An industrial environment that is 100% closed to control and modification via PC. When a reset to factory settings is triggered, the panel returns to the SonaHMI setup wizard stage, and integrators deal only with the SonaHMI software. Fourth, when any power outage or network fault is detected through multiple checks, a network error message is delivered to the user, large and legible, on the SonaHMI panel page. Fifth, if the username or password is changed from the automation server, the SonaHMI panel detects this in several stages and delivers a username or password error message to the user, large and legible, on the panel page. Sixth, the use of both the SonaHMI panel and the SonaHMI Manager software in 10 languages. Seventh, while the SonaHMI panel is running, when you press and hold the empty area in the bottom right corner with your finger for 5 seconds, a password screen appears to enter the settings page. Once the password is entered, the settings page is opened. On the settings page, all panel information is observed. The network, automation server, and screensaver settings are changed. Eighth, the addition, as objects and data points, of the features we will describe shortly, to the panels added with SonaHMI Manager and their inclusion in scenarios and scripts. The following features are added as objects or data points to the panels added with SonaHMI Manager and are included in scenarios and scripts. Alarm sound. When this point is triggered, the panel starts to sound an alarm. Notification 1 and Notification 2. When these points are triggered, the panel starts to play alternative notification sounds. Doorbell. When this point is triggered, the panel plays a doorbell sound. Remote refresh. If you make a graphic change on the automation server, by triggering this command, you have the SonaHMI panels page updated. Panel LED command. Only for the 8-inch panel. You can send the RGB LED at the top and bottom of the panel, one of 8 defined colors. Panel LED status. Only for the 8-inch panel. It gives the current light color information of the panel's RGB LED. Communication status. It is the communication status of the SonaHMI panel. Screen. On-off. If a screensaver is defined on the panel, the off command activates the screensaver. If no screensaver is defined, the off command turns off the screen backlight and dims the panel screen. When the user touches, the automation page comes back immediately, but as long as this point is off, after 15 minutes, the panel goes back to a black unlit screen. It is an ideal use so that the panel produces no light at all in a sleep scenario in hotel rooms. Screen status. It is the on or off status of the screen. Panel lock command. If a lock command is sent with this point, the SonaHMI panel screen goes dark. When the user touches the panel, the message that the panel has been locked by the center is shown in the relevant language. Until this point is set to off, the user cannot use the SonaHMI panel. It is suitable for after hours in corporate settings. In the panel status and update section in SonaHMI Manager, the following operations are carried out. The actions linked to objects are also performed from here. If the automation server is connected to the internet, it checks over the internet whether there is new up-to-date software for the SonaHMI panel. If up-to-date software is available, it updates the panel software. You can restart the panel from this menu. From the Update Panel button, you can change all panel properties except the screensaver. From the panel IP address, to which network is used, even down to the Wi-Fi SSID and password, you can control the panel 100% remotely and update it without going to the panel. You can also change the linked object addresses from here. In the screensaver and pin section in SonaHMI Manager, the following operations are carried out. You can upload the 1280 by 800 resolution screensaver images on your computer to the SonaHMI Manager application to create a library. Then, again from this menu, you can select a panel and upload an image you want to the panel as a custom screensaver. You can activate or deactivate the panel's screensaver. You can choose the screensaver type, such as screen dimming or custom screensaver. If you want a PIN to be asked when exiting the screensaver, you can activate the PIN and enter it in this menu and send it to the panel. SonaHMI, as both hardware and software, is a solution that adds power to the power of your automation server and raises the quality of your automation projects to a higher level. A full-screen industrial touch panel experience, firmware-level secure software, and central panel management with SonaHMI Manager, all in a single solution. For more information about SonaHMI and compatible devices, you can reach us at itsona.com.